Hello, my peeps, and thank you very much for joining yet another Lighten Up project. I am Malcolm Grissom, the stand-up CEO and founder of the World Laughter Organization. And today on the Lighten Up project, I am over the moon is what I am. I'm over the moon because we're going to be talking about showing up in the world and how you show up in the world, because really hiding is exhausting. Dimming your light it's just terrible branding. And someone that I know said, if no one can see you, then your light's never, you're doing a disservice to the world if no one gets to see your light. My guest today is one of my mentors, one of my friends, one of the best people that I know in my life. I actually have a story. She was actually the very first person that I met that got me on the road to entrepreneurship. Kimberly Crowe is her name, Kimberly S. Crowe. She is an international speaker and an entrepreneur. She's spoken on over 5,000 stages, including the TEDx Los Angeles, which is the Olympics of showing up, really. She's the creator of Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. By the way, she would also be the first to tell you, if you are going to name your business, please do not use the word entrepreneur. No, Isabella. But Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. She's the co-host of Speaker's Playhouse, where she literally hands people the mic, hundreds and thousands of people. She is a co-producer of Podpalooza, the one-day podcasting extravaganza that turns visibility into a contact sport. Her motto is, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Kimberly helps speakers and entrepreneurs step out of hiding, get visible, build businesses that are profitable, playful, and unapologetically bold. This conversation that we're going to have today is really about presence. It's about permission. It's about confidence. It's about showing up like you actually mean it. It's committing. So let's lighten up and let's welcome my dear friend, Kimberly Crowe.
Malcolm, thank you so much for having me. What a delight to be here. What a great introduction. I'm inspired myself.
Oh, Kimberly. So this is a very, very important question that I'm going to ask you.
Lay it on me.
The biggest, most important question of the entire night. What does the S stand for? Does it stand for sexy or sassy?
Either one of those will do. I would say I'll just leave it at that. I've never heard anybody introduce me as Kimberly S. Crowe, although it is part of my, it's in certain places, but yeah, somebody just talked about that yesterday. I was like, what does the S stand for? So it's two in a row. So yeah, I'm going with sassy. I like that one.
Right. Okay. I love that. Hey, Kimberly, can you do me a favor? Can you join me in 20 seconds of spontaneous laughter?
Yes, I would be happy to.
Yes, I love that, Kimberly. Yes, let's do it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, laugh. Oh, wow. Uh, so Kimberly, I know I love your motto. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
Really, it's true. But how can you tie having fun and happiness into deciding how you're going to show up in the world?
Ooh, yeah. Well, it is my motto. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And it came, somebody said, were you always that way? And I said, no. And I said, how did you discover that? I said, because I wasn't having fun. I was in a place that was a very, we all go through phases in life, and I was working at a corporate job. I had been there for 17 years. 15 of them were very good. I really enjoyed it. They did really well by me. I had a lot of fun. And the last two really were hard. And I had climbed the corporate ladder, and then I felt like I was in golden handcuffs. They say, you're making so much money, does it make sense to quit? But you don't love it anymore. And I really didn't love it anymore. I just was very, very, by the end, I was very unhappy. And I remember being at my desk at 10 o'clock at night, and my kids were already in bed, and I was still at work. And I was like, what am I doing? And how do I get out of here? And I remember that was a big turning point for me. And I thought, this is not fun anymore. It was, but it's not. Where did I get off the path? And I thought, everybody that is at my level, I've been climbing this ladder for a really long time. And I was an executive director at a Fortune 1000 company. And I was looking around, and everybody at my level or above seemed to be unhappy, mean to their employees. They were on their third marriage. They were, unhealthy, had heart attacks. And I was like, I don't want to grow up to be any of you. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this forever. And it's really hard to leave a position where you've worked your whole life, so to speak, to get there. And you just didn't, it wasn't all that and a bag of chips when you got there. And so I really went on what would be called a spiritual journey / breakdown, as Brene Brown, my favorite person on a 10X, ever said, that it's one of the things where you really have to figure out what's this, what's next. And I think a lot of us are in what we would call Act 2, right? We did this, and then we did this, and maybe we're in Act 3 now. This is I got to do something else. And my kids were getting older and growing up, and I thought I need to do something that's joyful. And so my son inspired me, and he was frustrated because he didn't have a summer job yet. He was too young to get a summer job, and he felt like he was too old to go back to summer camp because he was 15 and a half, and that's boring and stupid now. And he knows everything, right? At 15 and a half, we all knew everything. And I said, well, why don't we create an entrepreneurship together? Why don't we create a business together where we just do something for fun and make money at it? And his eyes lit up, and he's like, can we do that? And we launched a business together, and we had so much fun. And I was like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what life is supposed to feel like. This is what business is supposed to be like. This is what relationship is supposed to feel like. This is it. And that's what I created the motto and to live by. I mean, I didn't suddenly create it, but it was it's supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, let's just not do that anymore. So that's where my motto came from. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, we're talking about showing up in the world and having fun doing it.
Yeah.
But now let's go back to showing up in the world, and often that is connected with the word commitment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, commitment. How people commit to showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something?
No, go for it.
Oh, okay. So with commitment, who do you think gets it? Because in that story you just told, it was a very interesting dynamic between you and your son. So who do you think gets the word commitment right?
Oh, wow, good question. Yeah, I think as long as commitment feels like a choice you're choosing over and over again, then I think it's awesome, right? Because I resist the word commitment. You know, like if somebody it feels like at a car dealership, right? And they're like, "Will you make a commitment to buy this car today if I can give you this price?" You know, and you're like, "I don't know, like where can I wiggle out of that?" You know, so it doesn't feel good when other people are pinning you down. But if you're making a commitment to somebody, whether it's in a marriage or a business partnership or to a client or to a child, that you're choosing over and over again, every day, every week, every month, and you want to do it and you look forward to doing it and you're committed to doing it, I think then that becomes very powerful. And that can be in any aspect of your life. It can be in your spiritual life. You're committed to a church or a religious organization, or you're committed to every morning doing yoga, or you're committed to meditation, or whatever it is that you're committed to. It's because you are recommitting yourself to it every day. And so I think that would be the right way to look at it.
Yes. Okay. So not only a commitment, but a recommitment.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yes. Okay. So at what point did you, was it that, so your original story about your transition from corporate to being an entrepreneur, was that the first time that you actually chose how you were going to show up in the world, or was there a time before that?
Yeah, I think I've loved being able to be on stage. I've loved being able to share with people. I've loved being able to tell stories, and I've loved being able to help other people tell stories and share their message with the world, because we all have something important that other people out there in the world need. They need your message. They need to hear, lighten up a little bit. They need to hear, laughter is good for us. They need to hear, you're not going to die when you get on stage, or whatever the message, or maybe it's a message from your minister, or maybe it's a message from your spouse, or whatever it is. We need to hear other people and be seen and heard in a bigger way. And I think you were alluding to it in the opening. I do say, if you're not being seen, you're being overlooked. If you're not being heard, your message isn't getting out there. And if you're not getting it out regularly on stages, then it won't have the impact or the contribution you want it to have before you leave the planet. And if you have a message that's inside you, then you need to be confident that somebody out there needs to receive it, and you're designed to be able to get out there. So when did I first decide, like, being committed or committing myself to what I really wanted to do? I don't know. I think we're good at it when we're kids, and we get less good at it as we age, right? When we're kids, we're like, I'm not doing that. That's not fun. And, if people aren't playing fair or whatever, that we just leave the party. And then the people who are playing fair are like, wait, let's play fair. I think that's the dynamic that we all were born with, right? That we knew what we were supposed to feel like. And then I think it gets taught out of us, and in school, by our parents, by our loved ones, and by our own commitments that we make, right? If we are committed to, I know several of my friends were committed to being a certain religion at one time. And then later in life, they were like, I don't think that's for me. I think this is for me. And leaving that commitment is so painful, but also enlightening. And also, that what you're doing now isn't right anymore. And that's how I felt, not with religion, but with work. It was good. It was fun. I loved it until I didn't. And then I kept doing it for another 2 years, even though I didn't love it anymore. And Malcolm, I knew, like, this isn't right. I'm not supposed to be here. And there are people who stick with a commitment, and they're like, I'm going to do this. I made my promise. I'm going to keep going. And I look back now and I think, if I'd been that person and I'd said, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to work through it for the rest of my life, not just 2 years, but I'm going to keep going, that all of this other stuff that I've done would never have been created. Like all of the people that I've helped wouldn't have gotten that help, wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. And if we can just realize that we need to commit to the right things instead of just for the sake of commitment, I think that's a powerful change and a shift.
By the way, peeps, Kimberly is the only person that the entrepreneur that I have committed myself to. I've asked her to marry me more than one time.
I asked him just the other day, he said, I've got some bad news. And I was like, you asked somebody else to marry you, didn't you? And he said, no.
Oh boy. I love it. I love it. It's great. So anyway, I wanted what you were saying sparked me to just want to throw out that what the World Laughter Organization is really all about. It's really all about, that movement's all about bringing back play, bringing back laughter, especially in schools and especially with youth, and let's keep that going so we don't beat it out of our children. We don't have them, learn something different.
Yeah, I think that's where it starts. And I don't want to blame the schools. My mom was a teacher. I don't think she did anything deliberately mean to kids or ever in her life. But the structure of the school is to for all of us children, whether we were noisy or, whatever, it was sit down, be quiet, pay attention. And either you are I don't want to sit down, or I don't want to be quiet, or I don't want to pay attention before you get into that classroom, right? And that's the direct, sit down, be quiet, pay attention. And even the shy kids, they're like, I don't even want to pay attention. I don't want anybody to see me, right? So it's so anti what we are born with, what our nature is. And I understand that teachers have a really tough job, but I wish there was some other way than the institutionalized teaching that we have, that we could make things happen, and help people get to that next level, but stay lightened up, stay with the laughter, stay with the joy, stay with the happiness, stay with the fun.
Yeah, definitely. So how can someone stay committed to how they want to show up in the world? How can they stay committed to themselves when life beats them down, as we know it loves to do at times? How can they stay committed without losing themselves and just burning out and just saying, forget it?
Yeah. If you're in a really tough spot right now, which I know many people are, if you're having health challenges, or if relationships are not going well, or maybe you're really struggling financially or with your job, that somebody that's happy-go-lucky, everything will be fine, everything's fun, is not going to float your boat, right? They're not the person that can light you up and immediately you switch. So you really have to. I'm a big fan of a person. Her name is Abraham Hicks. Her name is Esther Hicks, and she channels the name Abraham, so she goes by Abraham Hicks. And she teaches that you need to move yourself up the emotional scale slowly, and it doesn't have to be slowly, but you can't just go from one to the other. You can't go from really unhappy to everything's fine without really, really switching gears. So reach for the next thing that feels a little bit better. So if you're feeling like I suck at money, as soon as I get my hands on $1, it slips through my hands, I'm just terrible and I'll never be rich. If you're telling yourself that, that's a rough place to be in, right? But if you can say to yourself, I've learned a lot about money over the years, and I'm starting to gain a lot of financial sense in my world, and I'm making better financial decisions than I've ever made before. That's also true. And it's not like I'm a millionaire, everything works out for me, but it's a little bit further along in the path of they'll lighten up. And, take a little bit of the burden off of yourself and be like, I don't have to go from 0 to 60. I can just go from 0 to 10 today. That's what I can do. That's all I can do. And it's better than 0, right? If you are feeling hopeless, then feeling resentful is actually better than feeling hopeless. If feeling angry feels good to you, then it's better than feeling hopeless, because the anger, at least you have a little bit of control. At least you're not giving up, right? So lightening up, giving yourself a break a little bit as you're going through it. Malcolm, none of us are going to get out of here alive, right? Bad stuff happens to all of us, and we gotta take the blows are going to happen, and we've got to be able to give ourselves a break and say, maybe I was in this relationship and it wasn't the one for me. I thought it was. I thought it was going to last forever, and he didn't, or she didn't, or I didn't do the thing that I thought was going to happen. And now I've got to look elsewhere. That doesn't feel good, but I know that being with somebody that's right is going to feel much better than being with somebody that I'm continuously frustrated with. And this I know is. So wherever it is, if your health is struggling with you, or you're struggling with your health, or wherever your challenge is, just look for that next level 10 rather than 0. You don't have to go all the way to 100.
Right. Lovely. That's beautiful. So what is the difference? What is the difference between the commitment driven by fear and the commitment driven by purpose?
Oh, that's easy. One feels good, one feels not so good. And it's all about the feeling, right? And then there's another fear, I think, that's in the middle there, which is commitment because, right? Commitment because you already promised. Commitment because it's just same old, same old. It's the thing that you've always been doing, so we should always keep doing it this way, even though something better might be available to you. And I'm not encouraging anybody to leave a marriage or a relationship or a religion or anything. But if you know that it's not right for you and you're just doing it because you've always done it, take a good hard look at that and decide whether or not it's feeding you. We only have so many go-rounds on this planet. We only have one life to live. And if we're living it without joy, then that is not why we were brought here. We were brought here to have experienced joy, to feel good, to help other people, to love life and to love each other. And if you're living in despair or frustration, or you're hiding from whatever's coming at you, I'm here for you. I love you. The world is better than it's treating you right now. Trust that stepping forward, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a wonderful transition to ask, what is one small daily practice you would suggest that someone might use to choose how they show up more intentionally?
That's a great question. Every morning, and I got this from somebody else. She was on a summit of mine one time. I wish I knew her name. It was such a great piece of advice that I do this. So in the morning when you wake up, before your feet hit the floor, so you're awake, and maybe you're just starting to snooze a little bit, you're just waking up, and you're about to get up to use the restroom or get up to start your day. Before your feet hit the floor, think of 3 things that you want to do just for yourself that day. 3 things that you just want to do just for yourself that day. I want to go to yoga today, or I want to, eat a salad, or I want to indulge in popcorn at a movie tonight, or I want to get a massage, or whatever it is that you want to do. And it can be small. It can be, I want to clean out the refrigerator. It can be anything that you want for you that day. 3 small things that you want for yourself that day, and give yourself a commitment that you will do them before the day ends. And that advice has taken me so far, because now I know that no matter what I'm doing for other people today, no matter how I'm serving, no matter what I've asked to do, no matter what comes into my email or phone calls, or, drama happens in the day, there are 3 things I can do for myself today. And as long as I do them before bed, I've accomplished something amazing.
I love it. Kimberly, I have all of your contact information and, everything about Podpalooza and Speakers Playhouse and all of that. That's in our show notes. But I'd like to give you an opportunity to actually verbalize some of these things. How can people find out more about you? How can people play with you and show up with you and connect with you?
Well, if you're ready for some high energy and something that is easily accessible, you can come play with us at Speakers Playhouse. You don't even have to come to the mic. If you're a little shy, you can come and watch the first time. It's on Zoom. It's free to attend. You go to speakersplayhouse.com. We are live every Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to noon. It is a Pacific time zone. So if you're in Eastern, that's 1:30 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you're in Spain, you do the math. It is a very good time and super fast paced. We say that it's a little bit like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride meets Whose Line Is It Anyway, if you know that reference. One friend of mine who did not know that reference said, it's like that children's merry-go-round where it's that spinny ride, and you get on and your friends are spinning you and you're going really fast and you're a little dizzy and it's super fun while you're on it. And then you get off and you kind of want to throw up and you kind of want to do it again. That's what Speakers Playhouse is. So I hope you come. I hope you come play, and I hope you enjoy the ride.
Yes, it's very fun. Very fun. Lots of energy. Speaking. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to be seen and just to show up. Kimberly, finish this sentence for me.
Yeah.
I choose to show up as someone who...
Oh, that's good. I choose to show up as someone who helps other people with a message, step up and shine. And I'm the one to hand them the mic.
I love that. That is great. Kimberly, do you have anything else that you'd like to share? That was pretty nice closer right there.
Yes,
anything else?
Yes. If you haven't already connected with Malcolm Grissom, you are missing out. His Lighten Up project is absolutely phenomenal. I would take 20 seconds to laugh with him any day of any week of any year. He's an absolute delight, one of the handsomest men that I've ever met, and he's a total fun addict. Please join him, Malcolm Grissom.
Checks in the mail. Oh, Kimberly, I love you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for tuning in once again to the Lighten Up Project. And keep coming back because the guests are just going to keep coming. We're going to keep having the great conversations that we've been having so far. All right. But until next week, remember, every smile can open a door, every laugh can open a heart, and every step can be a victory. Till next week, see you later. Stressed out, stuck, or leading on autopilot? It's not a motivational problem, it's a connection problem. My weekly virtual improv classes boost engagement, collaboration, and retention, all while having fun. Register now for a complimentary month